Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Soaps and Sass.
What's up, party people? How y'all doing?
I'm a little tired.
Yeah? Well, pep up. It's time for the podcast. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. We are Mama Sass.
And Baby Sass.
And today we're talking about this week's episode, which is the week of February 16th to 20th.
It is. This is episode 6. Yes, 6.
Sounds good to me.
Season 2, episode 6.
All right. So, we have this past week, Maxie, as we know last week, woke up. And she's stunned to learn that Nathan is alive.
Alive and well.
Nathan is blindsided to learn Maxie is awake. Rick takes Elizabeth on a date.
I'm gonna have words for you, Rick.
Carly and Jason catch up, and Britt takes a big risk.
That she does.
I think that's when she cussed out Marco. Or was that last week?
It was the cuss out of Marco, but also calling Jason back to the tang.
Right. Yeah. My weeks are blurring together. On Tuesday, Laura surprises Alexis by asking her to consider being congressman in Drew's place.
Or in this case, congresswoman.
Tracy has words for Sidwell.
Yep.
Get out of our company.
Yep.
And give us a detailed audit of everything you've been doing.
Yep.
I don't know. That's like closing the barn door after the horses left. But anyway, Rick questions Sonny. What's up with you in the ADA? Lucas is adamant. I'm assuming he's talking to Marco. Talk about fix this.
I guess.
And Dante makes an admission to Michael. I don't really want to talk to you. You put me in a bad spot. I'm not happy with you.
Right, but also, I can't really. Because until this blows over, we really shouldn't talk.
Right? On Wednesday, Willow makes a revelation to Nina. Sidwell asks her to take Drew's place.
Well, she didn't say that. She says, the peoples have been calling me.
That is true. That is what she said.
She did not specifically say Sidwell, because if she had, Nina probably would have said, don't get in bed with this man.
I mean, but instead Nina's like, let's do it. Because power. She said that magic word and Willow's eyes open up big. Brooklyn Council Spinelli.
Yes.
Don't get up from the table. Let Maxie push you away if she want to push you away. But don't exclude yourself from the running. Lulu opens up to Laura. I feel like a bad friend. You are. So, there's no question. Nathan confides in Dante.
He says some things that
Yep. And Christina encourages Cody. On Thursday.
I'm like, you should after the mess you done pulled.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. On Thursday, Maxie's loved ones welcome her home.
Hey.
Woo! Rick makes a stunning claim.
Hey.
Oh, did he ever. And Willow delivers news to Drew. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't cackle. But y'all know what happened. Michael is in the hot seat at the PCPD. Well,
is he though?
After Rick's stunning claim, maybe not.
That's what I say. Is he though?
And Alexis makes an observation.
As you should.
Yes.
Though, while she made an observation, it was not astute.
And then on Friday, the citizens of Port Charles remember the late Luke Spencer.
Which really wasn't the citizens.
No, it really was his family.
There you go.
Yeah. So, I don't know if there's anything we really want to talk about in that. Just, it was,
Yeah, well, I think we can...
Some nice throwbacks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we can briefly skim over this.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add beyond that. There's some nice throwbacks. It was good to see them looking so young. Right? The different looks of Luke Spencer. Oh my! The different looks of Tracy Quartermain. My gosh!
I mean, this man looked like Gene Wilder when his hair was curly.
Right?
I was like,
there was one shot of Laura when they were over at Bobby's, and she was like, "I still love you, Luke." And if I did not know that Laura was around back then, I would not have known that was Laura. She looked different.
But yeah, it was nice to see the characters. I think, personally, while I understand that this Lulu was not the Lulu of the time, I don't think anyone would have been upset if they had put scenes with Luke and Lulu and it's just like the former actresses who were there. I really don't think
now
he
it's
cared.
funny you should say that.
Because the only actress we really saw was the baby Lulu.
Right.
Or toddler Lulu. Like.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it's very funny that you should say that, and I don't know if there's a reason that they don't do that. Oh, I mean, other than maybe they'll have to pay the actress or actor if they use their likeness. But something I found really interesting, or this is what I believe happened, and y'all can comment if y'all felt the same thing or if you know different. But there were some scenes with Luke and Carly where I was pretty sure it was not Laura Wright, so the current Carly. I was pretty sure she was not the actress that had done those scenes. Like, there was one scene where I was sure that who we were looking at from the back was Tamara Braun. Mm-hmm. And then when the actress who originated the role of Carly and then went on to play Claudia Sakara, I was pretty sure it was her. And then when we saw her from the front, it was our current Carly. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was AI. And then there was another scene where I felt it was the second Carly who ultimately played Oscar's mom.
Oh, you mean when she was going to Sonny's party and he's like, don't go?
That one I'm not 100... No. Yeah, in the blue dress?
Sorry, because there was 3 scenes with Carly. There was,
one
was family, so, you know, give me LQ and whatever, we're Spencers. There was the sitting at the table being like, whatever discussion they were having where you're like, that could be AI.
I don't remember the conversations.
She's like, I'm cutting you off, no more spas, no more room service, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I don't, okay, so, like, I was going to say, I don't remember the conversations, but the no more spas, no more room service in the hotel room, that was this actress.
Okay.
Then there was the one where she was in the red dress.
Right, which you were saying...
I'm pretty sure was the original Carly.
And then the last one...
And then in the...
ELQ scene, which was the last one we got.
Okay,
or not the last one.
I
it was the
don't know about that one, but there was one where she was in a blue dress.
Yeah, that was. You were saying that was Carly.
Oh, no, not that one then. But the one where she was in the blue dress, I'm not sure that was her. I'm not sure it wasn't, but that could have been the middle actress that played Oscar's mom.
Okay.
But no, there was another one where she was in a white blouse.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that one was her.
Yeah, it's like okay.
So anyway, but overall it was nice. You know, I wasn't super invested. Like, it's the citizens that remember him. I didn't understand why Elizabeth was in there, even with the scenes with Elizabeth.
Yeah, it was like
you know, if you're gonna give a tribute, then you kind of needed to give us the flashbacks with Holly and with Sean Donnelly and with Robert
and Lucky, like.
Well, we saw Lucky a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're gonna, like, maybe if you have, like, for Elizabeth more so, I was like, okay, if there's any scenes where it's like, she's there with Lucky, that kind of ties in more, because I'm like, okay, yes, you know, there's the connection because, you know, he's Aiden's grandfather, but really...
Yeah, like, it
wasn't significant, like, Carly or Sonny or, you know, the main family.
That was the only scene that was odd for me, but everything else was cool, and I liked... I sort of like the way they brought it up with Lulu finding the picture and then going to Tracy. Mm-hmm. That was all right, you know. But once that triggered, the fact that they went to the church and it's like, this isn't Luke, and then they went and they ended up at the bar. Like, I thought that was kind of cool, and then everybody else showing up at the bar. Some of it was a little bit random, you know, like. Okay, Sunny's showing up at the bar. That made sense.
That makes sense. It's like, I saw your car in the driveway, but the thing is closed, so I just want to check on you. That makes sense. Laura asking where she was, that makes sense, because Lulu would have texted being like, oh, we're at the Brown Dog. Yeah.
Well, a little, but like just how, suddenly everybody's thinking of Luke and the poker chips. That was a little bit airy-fairy for me.
Yeah. See, I'm like, okay, Carly asking Donna, or finding the chip and being like, Sonny, why does my child have a poker chip? He's like, oh, you know, I gave it to her when I was going through things, and, you know, that would have been more sense of seeing it and be like, yeah, you know, had me thinking of Luke and whatnot, and that could have been more sense instead of, you know, whatever they said, and it's like, it got me thinking of Luke. It's like...
Yeah, so some of it was a little bit contrived. It didn't
feel natural.
Right? Laura up in the church crying over Luke, really, after all this time, just... didn't entirely ring true for me.
Right, and then also Elizabeth, for me, like, Elizabeth showing up and being like, oh, Aiden passed his driving test, Yeah, it's like, okay, great, that's news to share, whatever. And then it's like, you know who that reminds me of? His grandfather, Luke. No, to me, I'm like, Lucky? But then again, Lucky got his, wild streak from his father, so okay. But even then, it's like,
yeah,
Lucky's gonna be my first thought, not Luke.
Some of it was a stretch, but the episode was okay.
Yeah.
The episode was okay. I didn't like seeing Luke walk off into the sunset again.
When they already did it.
Exactly. I was like, listen, y'all did this already. I don't understand why we're
right.
Like the episode that you did do was even weaker than this one.
Here's the thing. I think if we hadn't watched that rerun episode, we wouldn't have been bothered by it. I think it's because we watched the rerun episode.
Oh, because that was a rerun, is what they had. Yes.
That clip of him walking off was from that rerun episode.
Yeah.
So I think if we hadn't watched it, we wouldn't have been bothered by it. But we did.
That's true. Because it was a holiday or whatever it was, and so they put it. Yeah. Okay. Fair. Yeah. Which is maybe why I was like, yeah, that already was weak.
Because I'm like, she's standing there, fair. And then you see, she's like, sees the ghost of her father walking off into the light, and it's like, isn't that?
Right, and the whole gasp and everything, like I said to you, it's like, what is this? Like,
right,
Hamilton? So, like, really?
Right, so
Eliza.
Right. Exactly, which is why I'm like, if we hadn't seen it, I don't think we would have been bothered by it.
Fair enough.
I will quickly say, any scene involving Tracy remembering her time with Luke, I enjoyed that. Because it was just like, feisty.
Yeah, absolutely. That was good. So, indeed. But let's talk about the stuff that we really care. Well, maybe I could choose my words better. Let's talk about current events.
All right, I will say this though. I think you are right. I concede, because you had said, if not last week, the week before, that February sweeps is starting off slow, and then they're gonna end up picking it up in the middle, the end of the month. And I'm like, unfortunately, even we're hitting the end of the month. The end of the month is literally next week, and I'm just like, when were we picking things up?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Maybe they don't do February sweeps anymore.
That, or they just like, you know what? February sweeps is we're not necessarily half-assing it, but it's like we're not gonna put as much, and again, not even as much effort. It's just really just mainly trying to get things into place, and we're gonna throw in a little bit of shock value because February sweeps is still people are still expecting something for February sweeps, so we'll put a little shock value, but we're really not gonna ramp it up like we would with May and August.
Oh yeah, the back to school to get the viewers in to keep watching.
And I'm like, okay, I hear that, but if you don't want to really do anything with February sweeps, move it to November. Because at least it's the end of the year, hyping things up. It's like, okay, how are you gonna end this year off? How are you gonna do it? That's great, because then, you end the year off on a good high note. You're ready for the next year. And it's like, and if you don't want to do anything for February, that's fine. And you can still, throw in those little bombshells to kind of get people more. It's like, okay, this is kind of where we ended off. We're going to throw in a little pieces of nuggets here. And then we'll move on and we'll start ramping things up again when we hit May and then whatever. So I'm like, yeah, if you're starting to, you can be like, yeah, February sweeps, we're not really feeling it anymore. We're going to shift it to November. Okay, I'm not going to be mad at it, but do better.
Absolutely.
Because you lost me on the fact of, yeah, we're not going to really do the custody anymore. And it's like, y'all have been talking about this custody hearing for November from time. And it's like, nah.
Yep.
So, okay. Y'all have been hinting at the phase-on project from time. Nah, we're gonna wait till May. But Maxie's in a coma. Okay, we'll wake her up in February. Okay, great, perfect. February sweeps. Nah, it's not gonna be that much of an impact. She's gonna wake up, she's gonna see her dead husband, but that's pretty much it. What? What? The whole Drew trial thing. Yes, you were doing that in November, but you really could have picked that up in sorry, you were doing that in January, but you really could have picked that up in February. I'm like, nah.
Exactly. And it made such a big deal of this snowstorm that was coming, and then nothing
came of it.
It just fizzled.
Right.
So that's gonna be my what had me hot. February sweeps.
Okay, that's fair. I can roll with that.
All right. So, since I mentioned that, you want to talk about your what had me hot?
Yeah, this was this was something I noticed from last week, and I completely forgot to touch on it. So I'm just touching on it this week. And I'm not as hot as I was initially as time has passed, and I've noticed some things, but I'm a little vexed because when I look at the PCPD uniform, I'm like, why are you guys just so bare, so empty? You have nothing. I feel like you're gonna go out on the job and something gonna happen and y'all just gonna end up dead because you don't have no protective vest. Y'all just your shirt and you're living life. I was like, no.
I'm sorry. Ow. What protective vests are they wearing while they're in the station?
Well, okay. Not necessarily like bulletproof vests, because why are you wearing a bulletproof vest? But I more so mean like when I watch my procedural shows, i.e. Chicago PD, The Rookie, heck, even in life when I'm at work and security comes by or I see police officers on the road, they have their vests and, you know, they'll be gripping on their vest and the vest got like the handcuffs and the pep spray. Mm-hmm. Not all the stuff is on their belt.
Agreed. And again, what are they doing with that while they're in the station?
Yeah, I'm like,
because I don't watch these procedural shows, but I'm like, you're in the station. What's the threat? Why are you wearing that vest? Because I agree with you. Once you're out the building on the beat, sure,
right. But it's just like, even when they're out on the beat, they're not wearing it.
We don't see them on the beat.
No, but it's like you know how like when Rocco was getting snatched up and the police showed up, even if it was just like school security or whatever, school security still has the vest.
Yes.
Even so, okay. It's like
okay.
So I'm like, I get it. Chase is at home because Chase showed up or whatever. He's like, he's leaving for a shift, and it's like, okay, yes, I get it. You're at home. You're not whatever. But I'm like, sir, I get you're in the station, but like, sir, even still, I'm like, it bugs me.
I'm sorry. You want too much realism. That's okay. That is okay.
So yeah, that's what had me hot.
Okay.
Because I'm like, Chase, you just gonna go out. You finna get shot.
All right. So which storyline you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about Maxie because I know you love her?
I do love Maxie.
Do you want to talk about Lulu because we hate her? Do you want to talk about Rick and Michael?
I can't.
You want to talk about Willow?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Rick and Michael were so much more interesting than the Maxie storyline, which had me very sad. It was really sad. Because, whoa.
I'll have to agree.
Unfortunately, I gotta go with Maxie first.
Okay.
I liked her coming home. I like that Mac was completely oblivious. I'm like, this man's a detective. He needs to be observant. He can't even notice that his own grandson is looking behind him
with a big old grin.
Yeah. And it's not until his mom says something that he's like, oh my god. It's like, Mac.
Seriously, like, read the room.
Seriously.
In real life, you would have caught that.
Right. Either way, you know, it was a very sweet moment. I liked it. Lulu being late killed me a little bit. But then again, with Friday's episode, I'm kind of like assuming that everything that happened with Luke happened before because they were all wearing the same outfits.
Yeah.
I was wondering where Cody was at first, and I was like, oh, no, he's there. Never mind. Spinelli, I was like, I feel like it was a bit much that Brooklyn put him in a whole suit.
Well, see...
But I get why they put him in a whole suit.
When we talk about February sweeps and disappointments, that was one of the disappointments. Here comes Spinelli, all pressed and dressed, ready to impress and woo the woman. And where was the woo? There was no woo?
No.
There wasn't even a woo.
No, and when he's like, when he came back into the room, everyone was gone. And Maxie's like, where's everybody? Did they leave to get tired of me? It's like, oh no, they're prepping something. I thought it was like he had put together a whole thing and they were going to help him do it. And it's like, no, they just put the thing together. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. It was a letdown. I recognize you don't want to have necessarily a big to-do because Maxie's likely to be tired. Which, you know, that is all fine and fair.
Because even James asked, like, did we invite too many people? Was this too much? And he's like, no.
Yeah, and that's it. Maxie goes off for a walk and runs into Nathan at the cemetery, which I didn't have a problem with either. You know, I think it was made more sense than him showing up at the house, which I think would have been out of order.
Right, because I thought it was going to be like, you know, because Max is like, oh, I'm gonna take a walk, and maybe he's like, he's walking up to the door and he's hesitating. He's like, should I actually do this? And then decides to leave, and that's when she walks out and sees him. I thought maybe they do that, or just as she's opening the door, he's there, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't mind that they met at the cemetery.
No,
though.
I think that was good, but also it's kind of like, oh, wait.
Yeah, over his grave.
Over his grave, it's like, yeah, maybe I actually am hallucinating, but no.
Absolutely. And I said to you at the time, and I don't know which way I want it to go, but I was like, if she yeets herself into his arms like Trina did to Spencer.
Hey, I'll say this: at least Nathan will have the strength to hold her compared to Spencer, who literally evaded a bomb.
Oh my gosh.
Or explosion, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I want it to just be like tentative, as they kind of like, oh my goodness, can't believe it, and I think it's probably gonna go that way. I don't know if we're going to have that fling into the arms moment, and I don't know that I want it.
I think it'll be tentative. I don't think we'll get the fling in the arms, but I think you might get, like, maybe a speedy walk for a hug. So
yeah, maybe.
And then
unfortunately, Spinelli will end up going looking for her and see them in a clinch or something.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. I think that'd be a bit much because he recognizes that she needs space and whatnot. So I don't think he's going to impose on that.
Yeah. But I'm always Team Spinelli. Anyways, doesn't really matter what he's doing. I'm always Team Spinelli. He's not like a main character. He's hardly even a secondary character. He's a recurring character,
right?
He don't recur that much. So I don't know how that's going to go.
No, right. And I'm like, I agree. I'm always Team Spinelli, but you know.
I don't know about that.
No.
I think you lie like a rug, my dear.
That's not what... Let me finish my sentence. I'm like, okay, in the sense that I will always be Team Spinelli, like, I love Spinelli, but, like, Nathan will forever have my heart.
That's what I'm saying. You've always been Team Nathan. I don't even know what you talk about Spinelli for.
Because I saw the relationship between Spinelli and Maxie. I was there for a little bit of it. I'm like, oh my god, yes. And then Nathan came in, and I was just like, I love you, Spinelli. I will always love you. A part of me will always be on Team Spinelli, but like...
Yeah, no. No, you like Spinelli as a person. You like the character. You're not invested in his romance. Certainly not with Maxie.
I was definitely not invested in it when he was with Ellie.
Oh.
I was more... This is what I'm saying. I'm like...
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So, you know.
Agreed. All right. Anything else you want to say about that? James is just so adorable.
Oh my god.
I cannot wait till... I hope they keep this actor. I'm sure I've said this before, but I hope they keep this actor as the character ages.
For sure. But no, I think I'm good.
All right. So then, since you talked about how Rick and Michael were more interesting, do you want to move on to them next? I'm glad we're seeing more of Rick, I have to say.
Yeah, I like how they're taking his character in the direction of actually trying to help and not fight against his family.
Yeah. I hope they don't flip that because Rick can be very dastardly. Like, he's super charming and lovely until.
Yes,
and I really hope we don't hit a night.
I think the ayahuasca really did something to him.
I hope so. I hope they are gonna stick to that as a character turning point. And it's like, boy, I really pissed somebody off that they would do this to me.
I feel like the only point that might change is if it comes out that what Christina did. And even then, I don't think it'll do... I think that's it, because...
Remember last week I said there's a drop storyline that I cannot remember?
Right, and we were talking about that.
That was the one.
Because I know... Yeah, we were talking about it, like 20 minutes ago. But, like, yeah. If it does... If things switch with Rick, it's because of that. It's because the secret comes out that Christina almost got him killed. And that's going to put him again at odds with Sunny. Right. And that's what's going to ruin the whole thing.
Okay. Fair. Yep. I like that. But, hello. How fantastic was that? I like the way the writers set this up, where Michael's going to do the custody transfer. Yeah, the kids drop off the kids with Willow, gets the phone call to go to the PCPD. And, you know, it was... And Rick is like, what's this about? It's like, they came with a search warrant, asking for my keys, blah, 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 blah. Wiley doesn't comment on it that. And I don't even know if Michael said anything about the keys.
No.
But I think he just said they had gotten a warrant.
Yeah, he's like, you gotten a warrant, and then Wiley's like, are you in trouble? He's like, no, they just want to talk to Dad, or they want to, you know, give him some stuff back, or whatever. He didn't really go into it until he left, and Wiley's like, is Dad in trouble? And they're like, no, he's just gonna give them his keys back. And he's like, the keys that Uncle Chase was messing with?
And Rick was like, Shaba key?
Which
so I really like that.
Because we were saying it's like, this little boy needs to tell somebody.
Yep.
And we're like, who is he going to tell?
Exactly.
So the fact that it was Rick, and then on top of that, Diane's in court all day, really was like, oh, perfect timing. I need a lawyer. I have something to tell you that could mess this whole thing up. But I'll tell you when I get to the station.
Yeah, that part I didn't like, because it's like, I'm at the station. I'm already in trouble. Why wouldn't you tell me?
Right.
But, you know, Rick, and that's where we still had a hint of the old Rick, where it's like, no, you have to have your great reveal. Right. Which was fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing.
But I love how he's also like, no, he's like, so what is the situation? It's like, well, you know, yes, Michael had the keys, but you have no way of knowing how Michael got it. So really, you have nothing. The chain of nah. He's like, and besides, so many people live in that house. Anyone could have messed with it. And it's like, well, yes, do you have anyone in mind? Actually, yes. We even have a witness. And Michael, huh? And I love how they don't he doesn't say who the witness is. I love that. So we don't say who the witness is, but it's like.
But they did at the end.
No, they didn't say it was Wiley.
Oh, sorry. Who the
Wiley
witness is?
The witness.
Sorry. They didn't say who the witness was. No, sorry, I misheard.
And who is this? You have him. Oh, the PCPD's very own finest, Detective Chase or Harrison Chase, and everybody went, huh? And the look on Michael's face when his head slowly turned to Dante's like, what?
Dante's like, this ninja. What in the world?
Wow, Mom.
Sorry, we can edit that. You can take that out.
Wow.
Dante's like, this guy, he's always messing me up. What in the world?
Right, and I'm like, and already Dante was kind of like a little questioning the situation because
he's like, why would Michael still have the key if he went in the house?
And also, but it's not even that. He was talking to Nathan, and he's like, that, you know, I don't know how we got there, but, you know, that was a good, you know, thing to think on. And he's like, well, I can't take all the credit. Chase is the one who brought it up. And Dante looked at him like,
he did. Right? And then,
because he even said, this guy needs to stay out of this investigation. Mm-hmm. So if Chase is bringing this up, he's not listening. And then to come with this fact that Chase was the one messing with the keys, it's like, this man's about to get his ass fired.
Yep. Just as they're adopting a baby. Hey.
Which is I'm like, Brooklyn, you may not be adopting that baby.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Man. And you know how we keep talking about we want Brooklyn and Chase to be the new Edward and Lila, which I really do feel that they would be. Right? This is going to be one of those things. Because Edward would do some mess and Lila would be like, dude! Well, she was always so gentle, you know, being Sister Margareta from Sound of Music. She'd be like, Edward, that's completely unacceptable.
See, and this is making me wonder. I'm like, has Edward ever cheated on Lila?
Yes, that's how he have the mixed race baby, Justice Ward.
Oh, sorry, no, I had to check because, you know, things are getting really sus with him and Willow.
Oh, I know, but no.
I just had to check.
Edward was a notorious philanderer.
Oh.
Jimmy Lee, I think Jimmy Lee Holt is his kid too, which is, yes, Jimmy Lee Holt was also his kid, which is how Austin came to be the grandson. That's how Austin was a Quartermain. So, yes, Edward had some outside children.
Y'all need to do a 23andMe and just because y'all gonna have to keep dividing these shares, man. These shares are getting.
I don't understand how that works.
These shares are getting so freaking thin.
I'm telling you what, I don't know what they're doing there. That is some splitting of the stocks, but anyway. But yeah, so Chase, I'm looking for you to get some lashes next week, boy. Woo!
And here I am sitting. I'm like, hell, I just realized technically Gio got some shares now too.
Yeah, nobody's given them to him yet, which is what I'm waiting on. But you know, hey, okay. Yeah, let's talk about Willow and Drew and Alexis. So Willow called Alexis over to supervise the custody transfer, the handoff of the kids, make sure there's no drama, which is fine. I think that made sense. And then Alexis is like, yeah, let me check on Drew. I wanna just see for myself
how he's doing again.
And yeah, so I can, yeah, exactly. And Willow was kind of like,
And then she's like,
I can't really think of a good reason to refuse. So I mean, what's Drew really gonna do?
Right.
Ha ha! Little did you know, Drew knows Morse code. Unfortunately, Alexis does not. So Alexis is in the room and she's talking to him, and my goodness, he was gonna blink himself off the bed. That wind was gonna levitate him. He was blinking so hard. Oh my goodness!
Sent a tornado down her way.
Because Alexis sure wasn't paying any attention
until she finally looked up, and it's like,
that's it. She felt the breeze from his blink, 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 and it's like, what is that? And then she's like, "Are you trying to tell me something?" And then he said, "Yes, I am."
And the thing that killed me is she's like, "Do you want me to get Willow?" And he
said,
"No."
Woo!
And I'm like, Alexis, you know that she shot him, and you
do the math.
I'm like, you ask if he wants you to get her, and he says no.
That did not make sense to me at all.
It's like, maybe, like, see, that's probably where you would ask, is like, is everything okay? No.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel unsafe? Yes.
Why?
Oh, I say you can ask him why he can't respond. It's like, do you know, did she shot you? Yes.
Oh, no. You can't, she cannot do that. She cannot.
Or no, right. But by that, well, it doesn't matter. She's acquitted.
Doesn't even matter if she's acquitted. That is still client attorney privilege. She can't.
I don't think Drew's gonna say. I don't think Drew can't say anything. And two, what's Drew gonna do? He's like,
I know, and this is part of the problem. So she can't ask him. But everything else that you said, do you want me to get Willow? No.
Do you feel unsafe?
Everything okay with you guys?
No.
No.
Do you feel unsafe? Yes.
Then she could have been like, oh. Okay, anything that you might want to share if you could?
Yes.
Then she'd be like, I got you. But she cannot come out and say type of thing. Now, to be fair, she ain't got no use for Drew. Drew was not kind to her.
No. But still Scout's father.
Yes, this is the thing. And so with all of that, and knowing what she knows, I was really surprised that she told Willow. Drew seemed really agitated. He was trying to tell me something, and I couldn't figure it out.
Right, and
I was shocked that she did that.
And see, that's the thing. I think that
has shocked
because again, Alexis is not attributing the stroke to Willow. She's just like, this just happened, so she's not going to think that it's like
which is really too bad.
It's really too bad, but she's like, maybe I said something wrong or whatever. So she's really not in the mindset of, this could be something serious. This could be involving Willow.
Because Kai did not tell Alexis his suspicions, right?
No, and I actually have a prediction on that.
Okay.
But I will come back to that at the end.
Okay.
Because I didn't tell you this prediction.
No, but I wonder if I just heard it through the ether. But, because I have a theory now that I've spoken. Mm-hmm. But that's okay. So yeah. So I said I was shocked. I wasn't shocked because it's a soap opera. We kind of figured something like that would happen, but I was dismayed that was the choice that Alexis made. I would have hoped they would have written that differently. Mm. And so, of course, Willow's like, "Yeah, you see you." I don't know. Was it misery? I don't know, but anyway, I wish she had given him some more hot lashes and not just another dose of the medication.
I thought it was. I don't even think it was a dose of the medication. I thought it was something to put him to sleep.
Oh, that could be too. I don't know, but she gave him a dose of something.
She did, and I was expecting it because he was blinking, and I was expecting his eyes to kind of go blink, and then just him fall asleep.
Yeah.
But I also find it interesting in that, not in that Drew Willow moment, but in the Willow custody moment, that Alexis brings the kid cupcakes and is like, "Oh, can we keep one? Can we save one for Daddy? Sure." I wonder why he wasn't here. Oh, he got called into the police station. Something about his keys. Do you know what that could be about? No. Flashback. Not a clue.
Well, I mean, that was reality.
That was reality. I'm just like... But I'm like... It's going to be interesting because I'm like... Granted, I don't think they're going to believe Chase when he's like, I didn't do it. I didn't put the key on his key ring.
No. Chase has lost all credibility.
No, he has. It's just like, I just saw the keys. I talked to Molly. Molly was like, there was no forced entry. I ended up running into Michael. I got curious. I took his keys and I wanted to test it out. And come to find out, he had a key. And so I just planted the idea. And well, it panned out. But...
Well, you planted the idea. You planted the idea. You already knew what you were going to find.
Exactly.
And that was the mistake. From the time he suspected that it was the keys, he should have gone to Dante with that.
And should have said, I think you...
Yep.
But also the other thing is
or that, the ADA, but yeah,
right. And also, it's just like, you're gonna say, it's like, I didn't plant the keys. The keys were only on his keychain. Well, he claims he didn't have a key, so the key got there somehow.
Yeah, no credibility. Because, like, how did you know? Because that's the problem. The problem is Chase already validated that there was a key to the house. That was a mistake, but we knew that when we were watching it. So, yeah, I still like Chase, but I don't know about this path thing Reddit's got him on.
I'm just like, Chase, you're a beat cop now. You might be pushed down to a rookie.
A rookie? He can't be. No, he's just gonna be put off the force. He can be suspended without pay, I would assume, because it's like now you got another IA investigation.
After just having one, and this one, no, and even then, suspended without pay. They might just be like, boy, we can't do this. You gone.
Yeah, which should be fine by me. It's like, no, now you got to go find Blaze over in Singapore or wherever she at.
Revive that singing. He's not going to go back to singing.
I'm just saying, at least he has a fallback career.
That, or he might just, get his PI license and become the new PI of Port Charles.
Maybe, but, kicked off the force, who's going to believe him? I don't know. But, or maybe they will get him because they know he'll do whatever, which he won't. But
right, but also, what? But also, it's just like, Port Charles has always had a PI, so at this case, that's probably what they're doing. They're just gonna have Chase become the new Port Charles PI because it used to be Sam. Sam retired.
Felicia's not good enough.
Felicia's doing her own job, and you rarely see her get hired to do PI work. So
that's how Portia got sandbag on the stand. Thank you, Felicia.
I know, but that's not my point.
Oh, okay.
It's like for her, it's part time compared to like Sam, who was a PI full time. And then Curtis, who was working a long time as a PI.
Part-time. Sam and the Jackal were the only full-time PIs, really. And even the Jackal wasn't...
And also, wasn't the Jackal just Spinelli?
Yes.
Then there you go.
Yes, the Jackal is who came to mind first, so that's why I said that. But anyways, okay. Moving along.
But that's where I see him going if he gets fired. He'll just be a PI.
Okay. Fine and fair. You want to talk about Rick and Elizabeth's date?
Yeah. That had me vexed. Had me vexed.
You see a good eye, sir.
Right? That had me vexed. Because I'm assuming he picked her up.
One would assume.
Based on, yes, because she didn't go home and change. But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Man says, let me take you out.
Yep.
For Valentine's Day.
Yep.
All right. Typically, when one gets asked out on Valentine's Day, one's expecting a nice dinner at a nice restaurant. Hence why Elizabeth dressed up in a nice dress. Did her hair. Everything. Come to find out, man's like, I panicked and took you to the axe throwing center, ring, wherever. And I'm like, sir.
Okay, but Elizabeth wants a slap, too. She does. Because it's February in New York. Why are you wearing a strappy... lace dress.
Mom.
Yes.
Have you not seen what women have worn when they're going out to the club in Canada?
No, because I don't go out to the club in Canada.
Okay, I granted you don't go out to the club, but have you not seen videos of the ladies in their little heels, scampering through the snow as they try to get to the sidewalk to get to the club doors in their little dresses?
There are some things that just don't make sense, because the other day, remember, I was keeping real noise in here when it was supposedly the big snowstorm, and Lucy come in, talk about she's shivering standing at Sunny's door and walking around in her skinty minty heels.
Well,
like, what?
There's no common sense. People will be walking around in their skinty heels to get...
yes.
That's not my point. Anyway, my girl is in this nice dress, and my man panics. Is like, we're going to the axe throwing place. And it's like, sir, when you picked her up, did you not see the dress she was wearing? That should have been... I get it. Valentine's Day is the worst time to be trying to get a reservation because everyone's booking a reservation. But, you couldn't have taken her back to your place, gotten her a meal.
She wouldn't have gone for that. But
no.
But for me, it just
cooked her a nice candlelit meal, something.
It just makes me think. Should I get back into the dating game? It's like the question that I ask: what is the dress code for this date? That's my question. That's gonna be my question. I don't really care where you're taking me. What do I need to be wearing? Because you're not gonna catch me in a spaghetti strap flimsy dress and you carry me to the gun range.
No, this is agreed.
And I would love to go to the gun range.
Agreed. Like this is also why when I'm planning a date with someone, it's like we actually talk about what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I can dress accordingly. My last date, I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew I I wasn't wearing no skimpy dress. Right. Then again, it was also winter, but I'm like, I'm not wearing no skimpy dress. I'm like, leggings, good top, let's go.
Right? Or, we're going apple picking. Okay.
Jeans, comfortable shirt, let's go.
Anyways, Rick, man.
Yeah.
And then, how did Rick come to fall? Did he step on an axe that was on the ground or something? Like, what was that about?
I don't know.
That was so bizarre.
I don't know.
Okay.
Also, I just have to. Did you ever see Cody in a book reading club?
I don't see why not.
Sorry, it's giving one of those. You don't seem like the type, but really, I get what people would assume based off stereotypes, but it's like, huh?
Yeah,
tea biscuits and reading Pride and Prejudice, talking about lapels and all that. That's like,
I don't know about tea biscuits unless that's something he said, but
well, I mean, I
thought he said it was by Zoom, but what do I know?
Well, he was holding a plate of cake and there was a tea set up behind him, which is why I asked.
Oh, with Sister Mary Clarence on the phone talking about whatever.
This is what I'm saying.
But that's actually the next place I was gonna go is, and this is really what did you do that for? Like, I did not understand why Christina found herself back over there with the whole manuscript. I recognize she's trying to patch things up between Molly and Cody, but have you not done enough? Have you not caused enough trouble? Molly said she was going to fix things.
I was going to say, she's trying to fix what she broke.
Right. And Molly already said she was going to fix things. And how has Christina not learned her lesson about trying to fix things that she broke?
I don't know. But I would also say, I think the other reason she went is obviously she's trying to convince Cody to read this so he can convince her to publish it. Because but also the thing is, I think it's by having someone else, because we've already had Tracy give him a pep talk.
Mm-hmm. Which is how he got as far as he did.
Right. And now with Christina, it's like, look, you wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for me. But, and like, yes, I did dirty. But, like, this is, like, you have to see it from this perspective. And, like, you're dating my sister, and you're going to learn things about her. But, like, this is my sister and what she does, and she's really good at it. So please, just take the second to read it, and, whatever. And if by the end of this book, you're like, nah, and you still think the same, at least you read the book. But, like, read the book. Don't judge the book by its 2 chapters.
But again, Molly told him take his nose out the book.
Right?
She didn't say, you have the wrong impression, read the rest, and he didn't. She was like, you have invaded my privacy.
Right.
This was not intended for human consumption. Mind your business. I'm sorry that your feelings are hurt. I'm sorry that you're not listening to me when I'm telling you what it is. But she did not give him permission to read the book.
I hear
and
that.
She could have. So why is Christina inserting herself again? Christina makes me mad. Every minute she knows somewhere. Get a job. Get a partner. And leave people alone. You talk about the idle hands or the devil's work? Enter Christina.
I don't know what she would do for work, seeing as her pub burn now.
Hey, listen. She need to figure something out. Okay. Was there anything else that you specifically wanted to talk about?
Sass.
All right, go ahead. Make it sassy.
Britt, thank you for this joyous Mondays full of sass, because you were just like, Mother, you are overstepping. Maxie just woke up. Okay, we don't even know if she knows that Nathan's awake. And then she's like, okay, fine, I'll stay out of it. Get that in writing.
Tell it.
It's like, hey, yo. Because Liesl, as much as I love her now, yeah, you were just, whee! It's like, quota, calm down.
Hey, when Liesl gets an idea in her head, we have seen this Liesl before. She's quite delightful, but annoying at the same time.
Yep.
And to add to your sass, because it's not my sassy moment, but to add to your sass, was also a point in time where Nathan said whatever he said. Liesl's like, you know what? I will be guided by you. What a brilliant idea. And Britt was like, I just said that like 2 minutes ago. Which is so true. I related to that. For me, my make it sassy was, first of all, I was surprised. So Lucas knows what he knows about Marco now. He got the whole story and decides he's going to stay with Marco. Okay, fine, whatever.
Oh, right. I know where you're going with this.
You take what you get.
I know where you're going with this.
So I was surprised that he ran over to apologize to Carly, which, good on ya. like you were right and what have you. And then Carly's talking about, you're not staying with Marco, are you? He's a criminal. Sonny's in the room at the Metro Court having dinner or breakfast or whatever with Rick and 88 Turner. And Lucas doesn't even turn his head. He doesn't say a word.
He just gives her a face.
He points over his shoulder and gives her this face.
He like,
really?
It's like,
really?
Pot meat kettle?
Well, they would. What are you telling me? I thought that was brilliant.
I'm like, double standard?
Absolutely. That was a beautifully acted and written scene.
Right? And she's like, okay, fine, I hear what you're saying, but still. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. I thought that was really well done.
Right. And then speaking of Marcus and Lucas and Marco.
Oh, is that their ship name? Marcus?
It just came out.
Luco?
Yeah, I was laughing because I had a comedy moment, and like it was a really tense moment between Lucas and Marco for sure. But I was laughing because Marco was talking about like the difference between like he's like, I want justice, and Lucas is like, no, that's not justice. What you want is revenge. And I'm like, I was sitting there watching it, and it made me think of how a few years ago I was taking part in a voice acting competition, and one of the scripts had to do with like justice versus revenge, and I went a little
Woo.
I had a little too much fun with it, is what I'll say. And I channeled my inner crazy, and it just made me laugh because it just made me think of that. And I was just like, oh, that was good times. Oh, those such good times.
Indeed.
And I also gotta give props to Mama's Ass because she did help me out with that one.
Sure.
You did.
All right.
I'm gonna go to my next comedy moment, though.
Oh, yes.
Since we're still in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I give it to Tracy and Nathan because Nathan shows up at the Quartermains to
serve the warrant.
To serve the warrant upon Michael. And Tracy's like, who let you in and what are you doing here? And Nathan walks up and he's just like, a friendly Eastern European man and to serve a warrant. And at first I didn't hear him say a friendly Eastern European man. I just heard something and I was like, what? So Mama Sash repeats what she said and I'm like, what? So I back it up and I hear it and I was like, oh, because he hasn't met Yuri, he doesn't know who Yuri is or what his name is.
Not at all.
So he's just like, a friendly Eastern European man.
I thought that was brilliant.
It was beautiful.
The writers do some really nice things every so often.
Right.
They do a lot of nonsense, but there are some things they are fully on point on, and I love it.
The thing that did piss me off in that scene, though, is Chase in the back behind Tracy and Michael with his little smug look. You're gonna get it now. And I'm like, Chase, shut up. But also, Michael's reading this warrant, and I'm like, Michael, make sure you pull a Ronnie Bard and you read that warrant. You better read it thoroughly because the last time y'all got served a warrant, they had the wrong address.
There was no lesson learned there. None at all.
Because the man skimmed it and then was like,
yeah, you got Mickey's here.
Not glasses. Line by line by line. Because I'm like, I get they're not going to make that same mistake twice, but wouldn't it have been funny if they did?
Oh, absolutely.
And then you got Chase in the background like, gosh, damn it.
I honestly would have loved it. For me, that should be a running gag, like the Quartermain Thanksgiving with the turkey. That would have been a really nice callback if they had done that.
Because honestly, that's like, yeah, you screwed up the last time,
right?
Let's make sure you don't screw it up again.
And they wouldn't even have had to screw up. Just have them stop and read it. Because I'm like, that's a lot of pages for a search warrant just to say we're looking for keys or whatever they're looking for. A means of access. That was a lot of paper.
Yep.
We talked about what had you hot. Make it make sense.
All right. So my Kesakaka, Liesel.
Which is a whole different category, but go ahead.
To me, I'm like, it makes sense, but also it's like, woman, you're not even drunk. Like, I would have accepted if you were drunk. Because, a drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. So... But you weren't. You just fancy free with it. Not even taking into consideration how this man might feel, seeing as how he is in a relationship with this woman.
She don't care. It's not. Don't
clearly.
It's not that she didn't consider it.
Because she even said to Nathan, he's like, but because she more so said to Britt and Nathan, it's like, but Maxie is in a relationship with Spinelli. Oh, pish posh. Maxie and Nathan are meant to be together. Spinelli will step aside. Spinelli will leave. He's no longer needed. It's like, how about you let Maxie decide that? But anyway, she basically says that to Spinelli. It's like, oh, I'm so glad Maxie woke up, but you know what? You can go now. You're no longer needed because my son and Maxie are meant to be together and all that. It's like, hello? Read a room. And then basically Spinelli turns around and basically says, you know what, Liesl? You're right. Which is, and I'm like, I looked at that scene and I was like, Liesl, I don't know if you can read undertones, but he basically just said, F you. Because I'm like, and I don't blame him because that really was an F you moment.
Indeed. My Kesakaka, since you switched topics on me, or my Delulu of the week, is Lulu. The ultimate Delulu as far as I'm concerned.
I love it how I have those two separate in my list. But...
And for me, it was Lulu going to her mother, belly aching about, the anguish she's going through trying to decide what to do. And she's so into Nathan, but Maxie's awake. And what a terrible friend she is. It's like,
yes.
What do you want your mother to tell you? I don't even understand.
It's like,
and then your mother's like,
you're not a bad friend, and you
right.
Took
and your mother's telling
Lou and on the kids, and then
this, right. And her mother's talking about Maxie has built her own life. Nathan was not part of that life, and Nathan clearly is aware that she's moved on, and he's choosing to show interest in you. So what's your problem? And she's like, and then suddenly now Lulu's on the other side. It's like, no, you're out of order. But this is what you just came to your mother talking about,
right?
So, what?
And it's also like,
girl, sit down.
And also, one thing I do appreciate, though, is how... And it has nothing to do with Lulu and Laura, but more so with Dante and Nathan, and how, like, they were having that conversation, and Nathan's like, yeah, but how did you feel, with, Lulu waking up and you with Sam? He's like, what? And I was like, well, in that case, it was weird because me and Lulu had already been broken up, and me and Sam were building this life together, and then Sam died when Lulu woke up, so it was like...
Yeah, there was
no overlap.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's how it was compared to now where it's like, there's overlap. But it's also like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How, ooh. It's like, yes, you can understand, but again, it's like, they were already broken up. Lulu was dating her guy. He was, off doing whatever
Devin?
Dustin. Yeah. Lulu was dating her guy, and yes, she was like, I realized she had feelings, but, by that point, coma.
Well, that's it. She realized 1 minute she's in love with Dante. She's going to tell Dustin that this can't happen, and next thing you know, she was in the explosion. So she never had a chance to reveal to Dante how she felt.
Right.
So, okay.
And it's like, and again, I get it. It's like, time moves on. You didn't expect Maxie to wait, just how, like, Dante's like, I'm not going to sit here waiting 4 years for Lulu to wake up. And again, the longer someone's in a coma, the less likelihood they are going to wake up. So it's like, I'm moving on with my life. I'm starting a life with this other woman, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Which is exactly what Maxie did. But...
yeah, so we'll see. But I did not appreciate Lulu's position at all. So now going back to the Make It Make Sense, which is where I was... I was confused by Laura asking Alexis to run. I understood all the reason run for the congresswoman, or allow herself to be nominated to replace Drew, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I understood all the reasoning. I understood how Laura saw it as positioning to leverage against Sidwell, which all that makes sense. But Scout has no parent now. Alexis is her primary caregiver, and you want her to be back and forth to Washington?
Even then, that likely wouldn't, unless you mean, wait, do you mean Scout going back and forth to Washington?
Alexis going back and forth to Washington.
Because I'm like, we all know Alexis would not do that to Scout, and again,
that's where the job is. She wouldn't really have much of a choice.
No, in the sense that Molly and Christina, because I've never seen Christina back at her own apartment, but Molly and Christina are basically living with Alexis again. So in all likelihood, Alexis would be off in Washington, and with Christina not working, Christina would be looking after her most of the time.
I understand all of that. The child was left in Alexis's custody. Alexis has been hollering about how Scout is her primary priority. I
understand that.
And that's where I'm like, that's bogus. And I have the same opinion with Willow. Even though, like, Willow can go to Washington, I don't care. But Willow has been hollering about how she wants to be with her children, and Sidwell comes and makes this offer. It's like, you said your children were your priority, and now you hear power, and I see the wheels turning, and you're thinking about going off to take this.
And this is where I have more of an issue with Willow than I do with Alexis. Because, like, with Willow, I'm like, you just quit your job, saying you're going to take care of Drew. You just got your kids back, so you want to focus on them. And then you come with, oh, I'm going to, and this is for a year, as we have now learned. This is a year-long commitment.
Yep.
Now we've learned, oh, I can take my husband's seat in Congress for the rest of his term and do all this. It's like, you just quit your job stating these reasons, and now you're gonna do all of this where you're gonna have a lot more work. Okay, granted, your ex-husband's gonna have them 60% of the time, but that still doesn't negate the fact that you just said you want to spend time with your children and take care of your husband. So that's kind of flawed. Whereas with Alexis, it's like
she has a support system.
She has a support system. There's people she can call upon, and she would have to travel to Washington or be there most of the time, but I think she would works things out.
I'm sure she would.
And be there for Scout more than...
I'm not saying any of that. I'm sure she would for all of that. For me, this is what you said was your priority, and now the first hint of something else, and just like, yeah, not so much. Both of these children, and I have the same issue with both women, because both of these sets of children have been going through whatever kind of emotional upheaval and instability, and now you're just going to throw something else at them? And for me, it's a trigger. I'm not saying that their choice is wrong. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess maybe I am saying that their choice is wrong.
Not wrong. It's just not.
I have
the
an
best
issue.
Choice.
I have an issue with them even suggesting that, knowing again fictional story, because for me as a mother, and this is my personal position, what works in your house is what works in your house, and it's not for me to say one way or the other.
Right.
But my personal position is, if I'm prioritizing my children and I say that's what I'm doing, then that's what I'm doing. And it's not that this is something that she could do, like say she's off being a lawyer while Scout is in school. There's no discrepancy. And yes, okay, there's other people take care of it, but for you said you want to be that stabilizing factor. Why are you handing it off to somebody else? That for me,
And again, I hear what you're saying. It's just for me, in terms of Alexis, it's like, yes, you keep saying you want to be that stabilizing factor, but it's not just her saying it. It's like all of the Davis women, because it's like she doesn't have Sam anymore, and now and with the fact that she can't be with her brother, it's like we're all trying to do what we can for Scout, so they can kind of sort of break that influence that Drew's trying to impose on her or whatever.
Yep.
So I feel like, well, yes, Alexis, because even as you even said, it's like Alexis brought it up while she was talking to Christina and Suzanne. It's like, but Scout and all this and dragging her into this and the deep dive into my life. It's like, yes, I hear that. I recognize it compared to Willow, who might have a bit more of a with her cult situation. But
yeah, I mean, we'll see what they do. I really don't care for it. I really don't.
Understandable. I don't like it either, but again, between the two choices, who's better fit for the position?
Oh, well, now you're taking a whole different perspective. Alexis, that's not even a question.
Okay, so...
Yeah. No, that's not even a question. And if we're going to have a battle of the minds between the two women, and then Willow's going to blackmail her again, or whatever that's going to happen.
Lord have mercy.
Okay, well, sure, whatever.
Okay, but that might happen if... See, I felt like that would have happened if Alexis had said something in that moment when she was over.
Oh, as soon as they find out, like, I would not be surprised. I think Willow's going to drop that card, whenever. But yeah, I'm not here for it. And then the other thing with Alexis, and I recognize, even as I'm going to say it, there's a level of unfairness. But the fact is, Alexis has raised teenage daughters. Mm-hmm. Neither Christina nor Molly have done that.
Right.
Christina's a chicken head on the best of days.
Right.
Molly's in the DA's office. She's busy.
Okay, so they'll balance each other out.
Sure. So, with Willow, those are her own children. They have another parent.
Which also is kind of stupid, because I'm like, it's like, you want to take on this job, but if you get your way and Michael's arrested and convicted for shooting your husband, which we all know is not going to happen, it's like you end up getting full custody of your kids. How's that going to work while you're in Congress and trying to take care of a stroked out man who's not actually stroked out?
Who can say?
I'm like, do you
not? I
don't
know. You know, because Nina's ready to be her right hand man. So it's not like Nina's going to be minding the children.
That's what I'm saying.
So, yeah. All right. Where am I? My list? I think we get to. You want to go villain or hero first?
Doesn't really matter. I didn't have a hero this week, but my villain was Liesel.
I agree, for reasons previously stated and what she did to Spinelli.
Right.
I had 2 heroes. I want to split it. I know we said we didn't split, but since you didn't have one, I'm gonna take one of I'm gonna take your slot. I'm gonna give one hero to Brooklyn for championing Spinelli and his right to be in Maxie's life, because Spinelli needed to hear that, and apparently he missed it when Jason said it.
Apparently.
And helping him to prepare for Maxie coming home and showing up with food for the house to make sure the fridge was stocked and. Brooklyn is just a champ. And my other hero of the week is Wiley for letting somebody know about the keys, and it was the right somebody. So that's what I have.
All right.
Tell me about your prediction.
Yes, so we're going to end off with my prediction, unless Mom's also got a prediction. But my prediction is that Willow is going to get caught. Obviously, they never last long, people get caught. But how she's going to get caught is she's going to do whatever she's going to do. I guess get distracted or have to run an errand or pick up the kids, whatever the case may be. Kai is going to be over, and, you know, for whatever political reasons. And because of this, whatever emergency or whatever she needs to do, she's like, oh, can you, you know, stay, keep an eye on Drew, make sure nothing goes wrong or whatever. Which he does. But in doing so, he somehow finds the meds that she's giving him. Somehow Drew communicates whatever. Knocks over. I was going to say knocks over. I don't know how he's going to knock things over. But.
Well, he twitched his head a little bit, and we all know his head was not supposed to move.
No. So. But again, Kai finds the meds. He gets curious. He's either going to look it up, or he's going to tell Trina, and have her take it to her mom, whatever the case may be. Okay. But I think Kai is going to be what leads them to be like,
Okay, so I had I wouldn't call it a full blown prediction, but something that I expected was going to happen, also involving Kai. I figured Kai would end up working for the new congresswoman, whichever one of the two it is. And by virtue of that, either he lets Alexis know his suspicions, or just as you said, he catches Willow doing something shady and ends up blowing that up. So
wouldn't it also be interesting if he ends up working for Willow, because Willow ended up becoming the congresswoman, and he's just like, I recuse, I quit, I whatever, because
he might.
But he said he couldn't, because, you know.
Exactly. So, but I'm with you. Whatever Willow's downfall is hinges on Kai. I agree.
Yep.
Cool. All right. That's all the news that's fit to talk about this week.
Yep.
So come back next week for a little bit of soul.
And hopefully a lot more sass. I need that in my life.
Right? Let's go, GH. Bring it. Have a great week, y'all.